Oh, hello, Tashidele. Hello, everyone. I hope all of you are doing good. And thank you very much for your time for the Lojong teaching and practice. So welcome back to the session. So as usual, we take a few minutes to conduct some practice together of recitations of powerful mantras. We dedicate this for numberless sentient beings, temporary happiness up to the ultimate happiness of enlightenment. We also dedicate this to this southern world where human beings are experiencing great difficulty through pandemic and natural disasters. Dedicate to overcome that. And also just I think yesterday what I hear from the news that there's a huge tragedy happened in Tasmania, causing life of 5 children in the school events. So we send our thoughts and prayers to them and their family members, and also those who are in hospital. And we dedicate this practice for them. And also we dedicate this practice to anyone in your family members and circle of your friends. If anyone going through any form of challenges in life, health, financial, relationship, we collectively dedicate this practice as an antidote for them to overcome that and actualize meaningful life. We also dedicate this practice for anyone who passed away, in particularly last 49 days, to overcome any form of suffering related to death, intermediate state, rebirth, and actualize next rebirth in the Pure Land, where they achieve the state of full enlightenment within that very lifetime. And also dedicate this practice to anyone who have requested prayers from me, our gurus, anyone we know from the news, from people that whoever is suffering, we dedicate this practice, okay? To make this practice most effective and reach out to entire numberless sentient beings accordingly, we set the correct motivation, the most powerful motivation of bodhicitta. And that also on the basis of refreshing refuge in Guru Buddha Dhamma Sangha. Sanje Chetan Zoye Jonala, Janju Badu Dani Jazunje, Daji Jenzoje Besonamje, Rola Benje Sanje Drubarajo, Sanje Chetan Zoye Jonala, Janju Badu Dani Jazun, Daji Jenzoje Besonamje, Rola Benje Sanje Drubarajo, Sanje Chetan Zoye Jonala, Janju Badu Dani Jazunje, Daji Jenzoje Besonamje, Rola Benje Sanje Drubarajo. Sanje Chetan Zoye Jonala, Janju Badu Dani Jazunje, Daji Jenzoje Besonamje, Rola Benje Sanje Drubarajo. Gange Dozene Zone, Dawa Damje Bambejere, Damejene Denze Bang, Godam Dela Chase, Lo Doni Ninje Zondo Jubelam, Seje Senjo Ganje Dendegun, Chana Bemo Denzin Janzo. Sowa Devzo Daju Jinje Lo, Semje Damje Dewa Dang, Deve Judan, Dembra Juji, Semje Damje Dungan Dang, Dungaji Judan Dawa Juji, Semje Damje Dungan Meben Dewa Dami Dawa Juji. Semje Damje Nire Jada Nidan Dawe Danyola Nebra Juruji, Semje Damje Dewa Dang, Deve Judan, Dembra Juji, Semje Damje Dungan Dang, Dungaji Judan Dawa Juji, Semje Damje Dungan Meben Dewa Dami Dawa Juji. Semje tamje nyere jada ni dandave danyola nebra juroje semje tamje deva dan deve judan dembra juje semje tamje dunga dan dunga je judan dava juje semje tamje dunga mebe deva damira vajuje semje tamje nyere jada ni dandave danyola nebra juroje Tabje doje jajere doje jeje mendo doje bujomba seje lumbo dabo zebego shaje jabo dela chaze lo daya da o muni muni ma muni yezo daya da o muni muni ma muni yezo ha daya da o muni muni ma muni yezo ha daya da o muni muni ma muni yezo Daya da o mune mune ma mune yezo ha daya da o mune mune ma mune yezo ha daya da o mune mune ma mune yezo ha daya da o mune mune ma muna yezo Daya da o monga de para samga de bodhe yezo ha daya da o monga de para samga de bodhe yezo Daya da o monga de para samga de bodhe yezo ha daya da o monga de para samga de bodhe yezo Daya da o monga de para samga de bodhe yezo ha daya da o monga de para samga de bodhe yezo Daya da o monga de para samga de bodhe yezo Omo benzangoro bemaze de 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 Mime zeve derje jeneze, deme jembe ombo jembe yang, de bon male jumzen sanwen da, kanji jembe zuje zonga ba, lo zanda be jala zowan de, mime zeve derje jeneze, deme jembe ombo jembe yang, de bon male jumzen sanwen da. Kanji jembe zuje zonga ba, lo zanda be jala zowan de, mime zeve derje jeneze, deme jembe ombo jembe yang, de bon male jumzen sanwen da, kanji jembe zuje zonga ba, lo zanda be jala zowan de. Mime zeve derje jereze, deme jembe ombo jembe yang, de bon male jumze sanwen da, kanji jembe zuje zonga ba, lo zanda be shabla zoande. Mime zeve derje jereze, deme jembe ombo jembe. De bon male jumze sanwen da, kanji jembe zuje zonga ba, lo zanda be shabla zoande. Mime zeve derje jereze, deme jembe ombo jembe yang, de bon male jumze sanwen da, kanji jembe zuje zonga ba, lo zanda be shabla zoande. Mime zeve derje jereze, deme jembe ombo jembe yang, de bon male jomze sanwen da, kanji jembe zuje zonga ba, lo zanda be shala zoande. Mime zeve derje jereze, deme jembe ombo jembe yang, de bon male jomze sanwen da. Kanji jembe zuje zonga ba, lo zanda be shala zoande. Mime zeve derje jereze, deme jembe ombo jembe yang, de bon male jomze sanwen da, kanji jembe zuje zonga. Lo zanda be shabla zoande. Om mani beme hum, mani beme hum, om 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 mani beme hum. Omo mani beme hum, 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 omo mani beme hum. Omo dare do re zo ha, omo dare do re zo ha, omo dare do re zo ha, omo dare do re zo, omo dare do re zo ha, omo dare do re zo ha, omo dare do re zo ha, omo dare do re zo. Omo dare do dare do re zo, 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 omo dare do dare do re zo. Omo dare do dare do re zo, 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 omo dare do dare do re zo. Omo dare do dare do re zo, omo dare do dare do re zo, omo dare do dare do re zo, omo dare do dare do re zo. Omo dare do dare do re zo, omo dare do dare do re zo, omo dare do dare do re zo, omo dare do dare do re zo. Tayada omo be ganze ma be ganze ranza samunga de zo. Tayada omo be ganze ma be ganze Ranza samunga de zo. Tayada omo be ganze ma be ganze ranza samunga de zo. Tayada omo be ganze ma be ganze ranza samunga de zo. Tayada omo be ganze ma be ganze ranza samunga de zo. Tayada omo be ganze ma be ganze ranza samunga de zo. Tayada omo be ganze ma be ganze ranza samunga de zo. Omo mare zema zo ha, 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 omo mare zema zo, omo mare zema zo. Daje jawa tamje ta jeba yela sambe de denye geme ze jonjo joba la me jenye lo daja jung jenze jo dojo me jo yanza. Sebde zemele jume jiba gule nyudu jabdo zo jawandi nyudu da waze jema dujo ne do waji jama le ba de sala go brajo jambe bawe jidra jemba da gundo zambo de yande jinje de da gunje jesu da loji Jawa de da dam je rab do ngo de son je be jawa dam je de ngo gan la ju do ngo ba de da je je we za wa de gun ja zambo je rab do ngo wa lai Pama SMJ Damje Dendan Dinjuji Ngendo Damje Dodu Dunga Janju Samba Gana Zujo Ba Deda Gunje Mala Dujuji SMJ Neba Jinye Ba Nyudu Nele Tajuji Duene Ne Manu Ba Dadu Juma Mebrasho Bedanzo Wa Migube Yijinu Wa Basamji SMJ Rawa Gunzube Samba Chujin Dube Tashi Okay, thank you. Oh, yeah. So we are still studying the Lojong great collections of classic teachings from the Lojong treatise. And if you are using the same the text volume, then we are at page 205. And today we will go through the topic Mahayana Purifications of Grudge. The text compiled by the Shonu Gyalchok. And so this particular teaching is very straightforward. I don't think that necessary to do much commentary. The commentary to the word meanings, commentary to the to the prayer gap. So I don't think it's necessary. So it is more of knowing the sequence of practice and the visualization, during the practice. So as long as you follow the text, this text itself can be a very powerful sadhana text when we engage in purification practices. So I very much will read through it. Then, since it is approaching end of the year, and also today is the last teaching for this year, and also, of course, from beginningless lifetime, we travel through this very complicated, problematic, samsaric continuum. And in particularly in the last 2 years, all of us, everyone in the world went through one or another way difficulties in relation to this pandemic, that which very much came into existence once in 100 years. And we all know that the human beings overloaded with so much of a stress, fear, so that accumulate so much of negative emotions, negative energy in the atmosphere, negative energy to the environment, to the elements, negative energy to our own physical and mental elements, and that itself create so much of negative conditions for human being in this world, to go through so many form of new diseases, new complications, new problems. So much negativities have accumulated and experienced. So we take the opportunity to purify those negativities through applications of proper antidote or purification practice, such like this text describe the VAJRASATTVA practice, and also interdependently, the year is coming to end. So from that point of view, also it is very relevant, for us to do a purification practice. And from that interdependent circumstances, really, the practice of purification take a special effect, to the eradications of negativities, sufferings, obstacles in our life, and that will make us, better basis for the better continuum of future times, like next year onward. Even to do with this pandemic, even though scientifically, medically, what we hear in the news seems like it's going to not going to end this pandemic so soon. But then we create the virtuous causes and conditions for us to be resistant, to live with the COVID normal in future times, especially starting from this coming new year. So therefore, I think this purification practice, I think is very, very relevant, very, very important. So yeah, so in that way, as long as we create more virtuous, meritorious causes through the practice of purification, by clearing those impure bases of past negative karma, then in that way we have a better life, more virtuous, more happy, more prosperous, more healthy life in coming days, you see. So for that purpose, so we will do the VAJRASATTVA practice at the end. So now to the different note, the purification practice in generally, in the spiritual practice, in particularly Buddhism, in Buddhist practice, whether to do with whatever whatever yana that you follow, whatever tradition that you follow, in the Vinaya Sutra, Mahayana Sutra, Mahayana Tantrayana, the Pali tradition, Sanskrit tradition, Tibetan Mahayanic, Tantrayanic tradition, whatever tradition you follow, the ultimate goal is to achieve full enlightenment and eradicate the samsara and its causes. So what really let down and what really make us stay in samsara is due to negativities, due to the negative karma and the negative emotions, such as delusions, because of that. So the main reason why we are unable to achieve full enlightenment, because of we have not purified negativities. Why we have not achieved even a lower nirvana? Because we have not purified negativities. Why we are unable to achieve PHAT? Because of we have not purified negativities. Why we are unable to be a successful practitioner who is actualizing very steady progress in realization on the stages of teachings, is also because of due to not purified, because of the negativities. Then in our day-to-day life, even when we do our practices, when we try to cultivate virtues, being not effective of those practices is also because of negativities. Why we have so much problem in our life, why we have this pandemic, why we grow old, why we get sick, why people face death. So why that we go through people go through business problem, why people go through relationship problem, health problem, mental health, physical health problem, why there's natural disasters, why there's a lot of conflict, why there's war, why there's famine, why there's a climate change. Everything is due to negativities. Everything due to negativities, you see. Because of not purified the negativities, we experience that. So therefore, whether it is for mundane benefit or spiritual benefit of enlightenment, the key job as a practitioner to do is purify negativities. Purification practice is one of the most essential in our life, both the mundane and the spiritual life, you see. So all the Buddha's teaching, the 84,000 teaching, are taught as an antidote to purify negativities, such as the most powerful teaching that which none of the other teachers have taught, except Buddha revealed the teaching on wisdom of emptiness. That is solely, to act as a most powerful antidote to eradicate the negativities. You see, so therefore, the purpose of teaching is to purify negativities. Purpose of practice to purify negativities. Why we rely on our guru? Why we have a spiritual guru? Why we have sanghas? Why we have dharma centers? All these are as a form of condition, cause and condition to purify negativities. So you see, so you almost can sum up that whole purpose of spirituality is to purify negativities. So the result of purifications of negativities, then all the benefits, knowledge, higher wisdoms, paths, including stages of liberations, including full enlightenment, will be actualized. You see, so the highest, the achievement as a spiritual practitioner is the state of Dharmakaya, state of Buddhahood, isn't it? So the Dharmakaya, state of Dharmakaya, state of Buddhahood is nothing more than the state that which actualized by eradicating entirety of negativities. You see, so like that. So therefore, it is extremely, extremely important, So, yeah, so so the text says Mahayana Purification of Grudge. So here the title, specifically attaching this Mahayana, that meaning the motivation has to be altruistic motivation. The purification has to be dedicated for the benefit of numberless sentient beings, ultimate benefit of enlightenment. So that makes the purifications of any form, such as grudge, become a Mahayanic practice of purification. Because purification can be also done for just a self-liberation purpose. Purification negativities can be done just to achieve some mundane goodness, etc. So here we are talking about the highest way, the greatest way, the most beneficial way of purification practice. As a tool of the purification method can be, can be common to any, can be common to mundane and the super mundane, can be common to different yanas, but to define, it is a practice of great practice. It is a practice of altruistic practice, Mahayanic practice. Then that very much determined by the motivation that you carry towards the practice of purification. So the Mahayana purification. So as I mentioned before, as far as kind of purification, entirety of negativities. So that negativities include karma, delusion, defilement, obscuration, sufferings. So all this, the impure objects, impure subjects, you see, all the contaminations are the object to be purified. So the grudge here is just one example. And this grudge is specifically, that which hold a very negative, very powerful, negative consequences. So therefore, specifically, should be purified. But then that also, when you purify the grudge, you also purify the rest of the negativities. In particularly in relation to the Mahayanic purification. You see, the purpose is to actualize enlightenment. In Mahayanic practice, if the purpose is not targeted at enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings, then cannot become Mahayanic Dharma. So therefore, even though there's a targeted negation that you want to purify, but that has to be directly or indirectly have to cover the ultimate purpose of eradicating entire defilement and achieving the highest level of purpose, which is the benefit that you achieve, the full enlightenment, like that. Then homage to the Bodhisattvas. So they specifically paying homage to Bodhisattvas because this practice has to be infused by altruism. So that's why pay homage to the Bodhisattvas. Then the text says, whether beings are human or non-human animals, when they become object of your grudge, and when you experience reluctance to train in cultivating awakening mind in relation to them, you fail to gain realizations of awakening mind. So the following is the instruction to purify grudge. So you see, so in particularly the negative emotion of grudge, that in relation to sentient being is even worse than the grudge that you have in relation to things, those non-living things, non-living events, or just simply a thought of graspings. So if the grudge is expressed in relation to living beings, whether it's human or non-human, then in the practice of the Bodhisattva, then that play a huge obstacle to the realization on the stages of path to enlightenment. Because in the practice of bodhicitta, if you left out even one single living being from the object of your genuine sense of love and compassion, then that your purpose of bodhicitta will not achieve. You see, so therefore, the grudge in relation to living beings is something that to purify it as soon as possible, as immediate as possible. So, and there are so many negativities that we experience, like including sicknesses, mental, physical sicknesses, that can be very much related to the grudge that we have in relation to other living beings. So how to understand that? Many of the sicknesses, including cancer, etc., basically all the mental sicknesses, physical sicknesses are the result of causing harm to other sentient beings, causing harm to other sentient beings. You see, so and many of those harms are done on the basis of self-centered attitude, greed, then misunderstandings, misconceptions, wrong views, then in particularly, the attitude of having grudge, due to lacking of, understanding the truth in relation to others' action to you, other sentient beings' action to you, because of not understanding the repaying of the karma that you cause to others that you receive harm. Instead of understanding that, whatever inconvenience that we receive from other sentient beings, we think that it is they cause us the suffering. Then you build the grudge, and you either have arising of negative emotion in relation to those beings, or in many cases even engage in the violence, physical violence, verbal violence, to harm them. So through there, then commit immense of karmic circumstances, then that cause sicknesses in our body and mind, including the pollutions that we experience in the atmosphere, that which also cause harm to us, pollution that cause into, the contamination caused into food and water that cause harm to our body. So all these are the collective negative karma that committed through your negative action towards other, in particularly with the mind of grudge. Then we go through those kind of sufferings. You see, so so like that. There are so many beings that we scold them, we beat them up because of they are not listening to our view, listening to what we want to them. Maybe not so much in the city, but let's say even in the village, in the Himalayas, we use ox and cows and yaks to plant the crops. Then to plant the crops. So with the heart of greed, to plant the crop without the men themselves digging the soil. We use the cow, and when the cows, in order to move them faster to do the job, the people whip them. You see, people whip them. It's like that. Then, if the dogs are barking and you want to, shut the dog from barking, and sometimes you shout, shout towards the dog, keep quiet. Even that, create a sense of unhappiness in relation to their action, like such as dog barking, and you just cannot bear the barking. Then you get disturbed and you shout to the dog, and in some way you even throw stone to the dogs, like similar like that, And in our day-to-day life, people, all sort of different people, comes in our way, through communication, through physical engagement, etc., etc. And so easily to get annoyed by them, so easy to get disturbed by them. Then with that, then you get upset. You see, even while just simply working in the shop or working in the restaurant, and just because of others' action, you get disturbed because it doesn't go according with how you would want the atmosphere to be. Then because of that you get disturbed. Then you scold them in your heart, or in many ways, in many cases, you even scold by a wrong speech, and in many cases even have a physical violence, etc., etc. So you see, even from this small day-to-day life, that we create so much karma in relation to grudge, that the grudge, you see, is some sense of feeling inconvenience of others, and then you bring about retaliation in the thought, in verbally and physically, and those are the the action that you commit, such as karma, in relation to grudge, in relation to the other beings. You see, yeah. So therefore, there's abundance of such karma out there. We may not be aware, but there's abundance of such karma out there. In the practice of bodhicitta, as a practitioner of Bodhisattva's path, we have to practice in the position that nothing is inconvenient to you. Everything is beneficial to your development of heart. Every single manner, like how we learn the 8 verses of thought transformation. That kind of application that we need to carry. You see, so that nothing disturbs you in the practice of Bodhisattva. No one's action disturbs you, whether it's beneficial, whether it's pleasant, or whether it's harmful action towards you, around you. Everything that you're able to regard beneficial to develop your heart, develop your pure view, develop the attitude of Bodhisattva. You see, so if we feel anything is inconvenient in others' action, then that build the karma, that accumulate the karma of grudge. If you really go more subtle, more detailed, then we can discuss like that. Okay. So now the actual purification practice. The first is the preliminary aspect of the practice is set yourself on the comfortable cushion in whatever posture is most convenient. So you see, so here we understand that meditation posture can be varieties. Whatever that you feel comfortable to you. You see, not necessarily that must sit cross-legged. If you can, there's a great benefit. But whatever sitting, like sit like Maitreya, sit like Buddha, sit like the Milarepa, whichever way you like. Most importantly, the posture that does not create inconvenience to your concentration. Then stir your heart with the fervent loving kindness and compassion. So then you set the motivation for the practice. The compassionate, loving kindness, compassionate motivation, altruistic motivation. Then you visualize the object of your grudge inside the hollow space of your heart. So here again, if you have understanding of emptiness, then that hollow space in your heart is very much a basis of emptiness. You create that through emptiness. If not, just simply visualize that hollow space, as like the word says here. Visualize the object of your grudge inside the hollow space of your heart. Hollow space of your heart. So for someone who knows emptiness, then you actualize that empty from any any tangible objects, like such as your physical the organs and body, because in the nature space of emptiness is infinite, is vast. There's no it's like no, it's directionless, boundaryless. You see, so you can create that space through emptiness. If not, then just simply visualize that hollow space in your heart. Then on his left, on the lap of the person, the object of grudge, it could be animal, it could be human, whatever, whoever it may be. If you can remember, then you visualize that person, and on his left is your meditation deity. So on the left of the person, then meditational deity, which is VAJRASATTVA, who physically resemble you. Meditational deity, but physically resembling you. The physical look is exactly like yourself, but in the nature of the meditation deity, Guru VAJRASATTVA. So visualize these two are the touching each other at their heart, mouth, and forehead, and their arm are in embrace. So So very much the object of grudge, the person, in the actual reality, there's no inherent, ordinary person, as an object of your grudge, isn't it? So now, that's why, as I mentioned before, if you have the emptiness capability, emptiness understanding capability, then you actualize that that empty basis, the hollow space in your heart, and from that emptiness, arise. That emptiness then arise the person who is, to whom the object of grudge, but object of grudge appear like the real person that to whom that you have this grudge, but in the nature of the deity. Then on the left, yourself look exactly like yourself, but I also in the nature of the deity, like VAJRASATTVA, father, mother. Then the grudge, object of grudge, and yourself, ultimately the deity, father, mother, in the nature of union. Like many of you may be familiar with the VAJRASATTVA father, mother picture statues, like that. So visualize that these two are touching each other at their heart, mouth, and forehead, and their arm in embrace. So that is the understanding of the union of the father, mother, the union of the two energy. Union of the two energy. Is when we talk about the union of the two spiritual energy, that has to be understood beyond the ordinary beings, kind of physical aggregates, like in a conventional union of two persons is like father and mother, isn't it? But in the practice of the Deity Yoga, it goes beyond the gender. It goes beyond the gender. It is simply representations of wisdom and method, the union of wisdom and method. It is nothing to do with the physical organs or physical body. It's simply visualized in that aspect, but in actual reality, is achieving the state of absolute dharmakaya, which is the union of both wisdom and method, and that itself is taking effect of absolute purifications of any negativities, and that effect is taking effect of actualizing the cessation from any form of negativities. In this case, it's the grudge, you see. So visualize and think like that. So then at your crown, visualize appearing from a white white VAJRASATTVA, so the Guru VAJRASATTVA, seated on the mundis. Again here, those of you who have emptiness understanding, then you actualize the Guru VAJRASATTVA either on top of your crown or either in front. So here it says on top of your crown. So either way is okay. You actualize from emptiness, then lotus, then sun and moon, then syllable, then the appearing of the syllable A, then from there, then the white VAJRASATTVA, white VAJRASATTVA, from the syllable. So on your crown, visualize appearing of the white syllable A. That syllable, white syllable A, miraculously, actualized into white VAJRASATTVA, that is seated on the mundis. So here didn't say about sandis. So didn't also mention specifically lotus and the sandis. So either you can also visualize lotus and sandis and the mundis also okay, or you can just visualize lotus and the mundis alone is okay, or you can just simply visualize and according with this exactly this word, at your crown, visualize appearing of this white R, then that miraculously turn into white Vajrasattva that is seated on the mundis. Then he has one face and two arms. The Guru Vajrasattva has one face and two arms. In his right arm, he holds a Vajra at his heart, while in his left, he holds bell at his left hips. He is adorned with all varieties of ornaments. He is seated in the posture of Bodhisattva. His big toe touch your crown aperture. Then visualize at his heart appearing from A, white Vajra marked by syllable Hum. Yeah, so sitting the cross leg. Then your forehead is directly touching to the toe of the Guru Vajrasattva. Then visualize at his heart there's appearance of white syllable A. And in the center of the white syllable A, there's a marking of syllable Hum. What's it? Appearance of the A, then white Vajra mark appearance of the A. Then from there, actualize the white Vajra. That white Vajra marked with the syllable Hum. Yeah, so visualize like that. So as you recite the 100-syllable mantra, then after that, then if you can afford to do multitasking, then while having very vivid, clear visualizations of the Vajrasattva, then the marking of the syllables, the Vajra, then emanating of it is lights, nectar, etc. While able to recite the 100-syllable mantra clearly. If in case you are unable to do multitasking, then first you do this visualization properly. Then after that, then you recite the mantra. Then you can focus on the recitation of the mantra. So in any way, I continue with the text. As you recite the 100-syllable mantra, drop of bodhicitta, manifestations of loving kindness and compassion that represent the mind of Vajrasattva, who in turn is the mind of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, descend in the form of milk-like nectar from the Vajra and the Hum. So while reciting the mantra, so you can visualize like this. The radiating of the lights and descending of the purifying nectar, milk-like color, which coming down from the Vajra, that which is marked by syllable Hum, through the infinite white light rays. It's like a thread where water drips channel through the thread, like that. So then this follow from Vajrasattva's toe, enter through your crown aperture. So all this light and nectar, you see, is very much channeling, down through the Vajrasattva's toe. So in particularly in this visualization, you can also do visualization that emanating light rays from the entirety of Vajrasattva's holy body, then like infinite, like kind of a sunlight, covering the whole of yourself and whole of the sentient being. Or you can create like a laser light, even though the light rays emanating from entirety of Guru Vajrasattva, but then create like a laser light, pointing straight towards, like from your crown entering, then purify the bodily created negativities, then entering through throat chakra, clearing any negativities committed through speech, then channeling through the heart and purify any form of negativities committed through our heart, like that. Or that specific laser light, the channeling of the nectar directly, spot to the any area that physically that if individual go through sickness, any form of sufferings, you can specifically focus on that and bring about healing. Then another visualization is the light rays and nectar, everything concentrated from the entirety of the Guru Vajrasattva, but channeling through the syllable hum, through the Vajra, that which is marked by the syllable hum, from there coming out. Then again, that rays, like infinite light rays, and cover like how sunlight cover everything, or create like a laser light again, as mentioned like before, or all the light rays and nectar that emanating from entirety of Guru Vajrasattva, including the visualized Vajra and that which marked by syllable hum, but the light rays and nectar, concentrate and channel through the Guru Vajrasattva's toe, like what he says in this text. Then, since that toe is directly touching to your forehead, then from there, enter through So your crown is your crown, your forehead, the crown, you're touching to Guru Vajrasattva's toe. So now the enter from the crown aperture, where there's a curly hair is, where the touching of the central channel is there, so from that opening, then enter the light rays and the nectar from there, like that, and dissolve into the figure at your heart, dissolve into the figure at your heart that you have earlier visualized the object of grudge and yourself in the nature of the deity, but the appearance, exactly like the ordinary person like yourself and the object of grudge, so dissolve into the figure at your heart, dissolve into that true embrace of yourself and the object of grudge, dissolve into that. When this occurs, imagine that your grudge, malevolent forces, harmful intentions, competitiveness, jealousy, which have existed since beginningless lifetime, are purified. So the moment the light rays and nectar dissolve into that father, mother, or the union of this yourself and the grudge, then both yourself and the object, the person or the being, and including rest of the negativities, whatever as mentioned here, everything bring into complete eradication, complete purification. Then imagine that the object of your grudge take rebirth as your parent, as your relatives, or as your friend. So then, right there, you see, anything to do with negativities in relation to the object of the grudge, that which you visualize at your heart, through the antidote of the light rays and the nectar through Vajrasattva, completely bring into total eradication of the negative side of that being, and that being's next continuum, actualize into a positive being in relation to you, such as your parent. From now onward, positive relations such as your parent, your relatives, your friends, so like that, and you can visualize as your guru, like that. Then as you end your session, and a Vajrasattva dissolve down through your crown, meditate on the space-like equanimity of all beings, both self and others. So the conclusion of the session to be concluded by dissolving the front, or the dissolving the front generated deity, either you generated on your crown or either generated in front of you. So at this meditation, according to this text, is on your crown. So that Guru Vajrasattva, whatever size that you have visualized, big or small, small like thumb size, big like Mount Meru, whatever size that you visualize, during the visualization, you visualize, real, lively, like a human guru form. Now that lively human guru form, but in the nature of light and in the nature of Guru Vajrasattva. So now that dissolve into light. So that dissolve into, so there's a two kind of visualizations. So whatever that you feel easy, comfortable to your heart, you can do that. One is dissolving into light, and that light form of Guru Vajrasattva travel through your crown, then enter into your heart. So there, at your heart, where just now that you have visualized that which is also oneness with your own being, your own continuum, your own Buddha nature, your own Dharmakaya, your own subtle clear light, isn't it? So then dissolve that into that and become oneness. Become oneness of that Guru Vajrasattva, and your heart become oneness. The another visualization is that visualize Vajrasattva in front or on the crown doesn't really dissolve into light, but it just shrink into. If you visualize a huge one, then shrink into very small, small. Then visualize the central chakra is like a real opening kind of pipe, like a vessel like that. The size that something that can travel through, enter and travel through. So it's very much like kind of like a Guru Vajrasattva in very small. It's very small in the size that, I don't know how to say. I think the size that which the size that how to say yeah, it's not completely kind of like losing size. It's still there's a size, but it is enough size to travel through the channel. Like that. So then, visualize Vajrasattva in front or on the crown, then enter into your heart. So there, at your heart, where just now that you have visualized that which is oneness with your own being, your own Buddha nature, your own subtle clear light, isn't it? So then dissolve that into light, and your heart become oneness. Yeah. So there is a visualization that maybe maybe I should maybe this is better. The size of the central channel, the hollow, not kind of expanding big, but it still remain the same. Then Guru VAJRASATTVA, whatever that you have visualized, is enough. In reality, the size of the Guru VAJRASATTVA not getting small, but at the same time, due to the enlightened, the light form of body, it is also small enough to enter through the through the hollow of the central channel. You see, so in another way, the size is not getting small, but at the same time, it's small enough to travel through the central channel, something like that. So anyway, the most common visualization is dissolve into light, and that light, then there's no inconvenience, to visualization, isn't it? To entering into the entering through the central channel, and then dissolve down through your crown and meditate on this space-like equanimity of all beings, both self and others. So right there, the moment you emerge oneness with yourself, then there you get into the absorption meditation on emptiness. So which is a space-like equanimity, the complete, the absolute empty of inherent of self and all living beings, including the Guru VAJRASATTVA and the self, everything conclude, everything, how to say, yeah, everything, conclude into it is absolute reality of being complete, empty of inherent, in the absolute being of vast like the space, luminous like the space, and completely lacking of any form of obstructions, obscurations. So so in that emptiness, then you remain in absorption for as much as you're able to. Can be 1 minute, few minutes, 1 hour, whatever. So basically you absorb into meditation on emptiness of yourself, the sentient being, the samsara, the nirvana, everything. So emptiness of everything, like that. Yeah, so that's it. So this is the sublime instruction of the Mahayana mind training. So this concludes the text. Then now we take maybe a few minutes, do the VAJRASATTVA purification practice. Okay. So so as I mentioned at the beginning, whatever that needed to be purified. So especially coming to year end, for yourself, for your family members, for the rest of the sentient being, for the rest of the world. So all negativities, to bring about purification through these three form of purification practice in relation to Vajrasattva, such as the purifying down, then purifying up, then the instant purification, the three ways of purifying negativities. So we do that. So I will guide you through the visualization. Then each end of each visualization, we recite 7 times of the long Vajrasattva mantra. Okay, long Vajrasattva mantra. So while reciting the long Vajrasattva mantra, again you reinforce the visualization if you can. So otherwise, just simply focus on the recitation of the mantra. Then at the end of each recitation, then you feel the purification in accordance with how I will guide you here. So now just reposture your sitting. Just stretch yourself a bit and try to sit comfortably, whatever way that you are sitting. Then do 9 rounds of lengthy, gentle but lengthy breathing in and out, and try to place your concentration to the breathing. Thank you. Then generate altruistic motivation that I'm going to do the purification practice of entire negativities that which carry within self and with the rest of the other sentient beings, including entirety of impurity in the universe, purify for the benefit of numberless sentient beings, peace and happiness all the way up to the state of enlightenment. Then visualize your root guru, to whom you regard as your root guru. You visualize him or her, or otherwise you visualize, like His Holiness Dalai Lama or Jabja Lama Soren Viche. So you visualize your root guru on top of your crown. Since it's a living guru, you visualize the guru is sitting on a cushion, many high stack of cushion sitting on that. At the heart of your guru, there's a concentration being, which is a syllable hum. Syllable hum. And from that syllable hum, the syllable hum also in a very bright light energy form. And from that concentration being, the syllable hum, the guru transform into Guru VAJRASATTVA's image. Who is one essence of your guru, and who is also the essence of all the numberless past, present, future Buddhas' purification. And the guru appearing into the VAJRASATTVA's image is specifically for the purpose to help us to purify the negativities, for the purification purpose, to understand that. Then, again, in the center of your heart, there's a sense of hollow space. There, all sentient beings, including specifically, those of your family members, relatives, in particularly, if anyone going through any form of stress in life, they are sitting on the moon disk at the level of your heart. And they are there for the to take the effect of purification practice. So for the purification of your own negativities and the negativities of the rest of the being that you have visualized, then you motivate to engage into the three stages of purification practice. So first, purifying down. So visualize like this. Nectar follow down from the heart of the VAJRASATTVA on your crown, washing out all your negative karma, defilements, sicknesses, spirit harms, and all sort of inconvenience that we go through, including of those of the sentient beings that you have visualized, in the form of dark, filthy liquid through the lower opening of your body. So from the Guru VAJRASATTVA, there's infinite light rays and nectar pouring, through your every hole or pores, of course from the crown. Then very much like kind of showering, the nectar flow is very much like like how wash away dirt, like when we take shower, like that. Then all the negativities, sufferings, karma, everything, sicknesses, in the form of black liquid, going out from the lower opening of your body. So whilst having this visualization, you can do this visualization as as clear as possible, as elaborate as possible, while reciting the VAJRASATTVA long mantra 7 times together. Om VAJRASATTVA SAMAYA MANUPALAYA VAJRASATTVA DRIDHO ME BHAVA SUTOSHYO ME BHAVA SUPOSHYO ME BHAVA ANURAKTO ME BHAVA SIDDHIM CHAME CHITTAM KURU HO BHAGAVAN TATHAGATA MAME MUNCHA MAHA SAMAYA SATTVA Om VAJRASATTVA SAMAYA MANUPALAYA VAJRASATTVA DRIDHO ME BHAVA SUTOSHYO ME BHAVA SUPOSHYO ME BHAVA ANURAKTO ME BHAVA SIDDHIM CHITTAM SHRIYAM KURU ho BHAGAVAN TATHAGATA MAME MUNCHA MAHA SAMAYA SATTVA Om VAJRASATTVA SAMAYA MANUPALAYA VAJRASATTVA DRIDHO ME BHAVA SUTOSHYO ME BHAVA SUPOSHYO ME BHAVA ANURAKTO ME BHAVA SIDDHIM CHITTAM SHRIYAM KURU ho BHAGAVAN TATHAGATA MAME MAHA SAMAYA SATTVA Om VAJRASATTVA SAMAYA MANUPALAYA VAJRASATTVA DRIDHO ME BHAVA SUTOSHYO ME BHAVA SUPOSHYO ME BHAVA ANURAKTO ME BHAVA SIDDHIM CHITTAM SHRIYAM KURU ho BHAGAVAN TATHAGATA MAME MAHA SAMAYA SATTVA Om VAJRASATTVA SAMAYA MANUPALAYA VAJRASATTVA DRIDHO ME BHAVA SUTOSHYO ME BHAVA SUPOSHYO ME BHAVA ANURAKTO ME BHAVA SIDDHIM CHITTAM SHRIYAM KURU ho BHAGAVAN TATHAGATA MAME MAHA SAMAYA SATTVA Om VAJRASATTVA SAMAYA MANUPALAYA VAJRASATTVA DRIDHO ME BHAVA SUTOSHYO ME BHAVA SUPOSHYO ME BHAVA ANURAKTO ME BHAVA SIDDHIM CHITTAM SHRIYAM KURU ho BHAGAVAN TATHAGATA MAME MAHA SAMAYA SATTVA Om VAJRASATTVA SAMAYA MANUPALAYA VAJRASATTVA DRIDHO ME BHAVA SUTOSHYO ME BHAVA SUPOSHYO ME BHAVA ANURAKTO ME BHAVA SIDDHIM CHITTAM SHRIYAM KURU ho BHAGAVAN TATHAGATA MAME MAHA SAMAYA SATTVA Now generate a strong faith and conviction that you have completely purified all the negative karma, especially those of having broken the 3 types of vows collected from beginningless rebirths, all the diseases, all the obstacles in life, including this pandemic, and whatever difficulty mentally, physically, environmentally that you are facing, that you feel that you have difficulty, that completely bring about complete eradication at this stage. Then also the purification bring the impact to those of other sentient beings, especially your family members or anyone that you are dedicating this practice, and according with earlier, to whom you have visualized, whatever sufferings and difficulty that they are facing, also bring about complete dedication. So have a complete and strong faith and conviction in the capability of Guru VAJRASATTVA of bringing about this purification. And then now we do the second round of purification practice. Visualize the nectar follow down from the heart of Guru VAJRASATTVA through your crown, and also to those of you who have visualized, rest of the sentient beings. Similarly, feeling entire body, then all the negative karma, defilement, sickness, spirit harms, in the form of dirty, dark, liquid, come out through the crown of your head and an opening of your senses. It's very much like if there's a dust or dirt in the beneath, in the glass, then when you pour water, when the water overflow, then the dust also clear away from that glass. Similar way like that. So the nectar enter from your crown, fill entire your body, and rest of the sentient being, and nectar overflow. Then with that brings about the purifications of any form of thing that you wish to purify, coming out through the crown, and also from all the opening senses, like from the nose, from the ear, from the mouth, all coming out and bring about absolute clearing of all the things that you are purifying. So with that visualization, then recite the mantra 7 rounds again. Om VAJRASATTVA SAMAYA MANUPALAYA VAJRASATTVA DRIDHO DRIDHO ME BHAVA SUTOSHYO ME BHAVA SUPOSHYO ME BHAVA ANURAKTO ME BHAVA SIDDHIM ME BHAVA CHAME CHITTAM SHRIYAM KURU HAHA BHAGAVAN TATHAGATA MAME MUNCHA SAMAYA SATTVA Om VAJRASATTVA SAMAYA MANUPALAYA VAJRASATTVA DRIDHO DRIDHO ME BHAVA SUTOSHYO ME BHAVA SUPOSHYO ME BHAVA ANURAKTO ME BHAVA SIDDHIM ME BHAVA CHITTAM SHRIYAM KURU BHAGAVAN TATHAGATA MAME MUNCHA SAMAYA SATTVA Om VAJRASATTVA SAMAYA MANUPALAYA VAJRASATTVA TVENOPATISHTHA DRIDHO ME BHAVA SUTOSHYO ME BHAVA SUPOSHYO ME BHAVA ANURAKTO ME BHAVA SIDDHIM ME CHITTAM SHRIYAM KURU BHAGAVAN TATHAGATA MAME MUNCHA SAMAYA SATTVA Om VAJRASATTVA SAMAYA MANUPALAYA VAJRASATTVA TVENOPATISHTHA DRIDHO ME BHAVA SUTOSHYO ME BHAVA SUPOSHYO ME BHAVA ANURAKTO ME BHAVA SIDDHIM ME CHITTAM SHRIYAM KURU BHAGAVAN TATHAGATA MAME MUNCHA SAMAYA SATTVA Om VAJRASATTVA SAMAYA MANUPALAYA VAJRASATTVA TVENOPATISHTHA DRIDHO ME BHAVA SUTOSHYO ME BHAVA SUPOSHYO ME BHAVA ANURAKTO ME BHAVA SIDDHIM ME CHITTAM SHRIYAM KURU BHAGAVAN TATHAGATA MAME BHAVA SAMAYA SATTVA Om VAJRASATTVA SAMAYA MANUPALAYA VAJRASATTVA TVENOPATISHTHA DRIDHO ME BHAVA SUTOSHYO MEBHAVA, SUPOSHYO MEBHAVA, ANURAKTO MEBHAVA, SAVASIDDHIM MEBHAYADA, SAVAGAMA SUTAME, CHITTAM SHRIYAM KURU HO BHAGAVAN SAVATATHAGATA BENZA MAME BENZA BENZA BHAVA MAHA SAMAYA SATTVA Then again, strongly generate strong faith and conviction that you and all sentient beings completely purify all the negative karma, especially those of having broken the 3 type of vows, collected from beginningless lifetimes, and all form of diseases, obstacles in life, including this pandemic, bring into complete eradication, in complete trust in the capability of the Guru VAJRASATTVA. Now we do the 3rd round of the purification practice, the instant purification. Now here visualize nectar and the beams are emitted from the heart of the Guru VAJRASATTVA on your crown, on your crown and the rest of the sentient being, illuminating the inside of your body, which become clear like a crystal. Your negative karma, defilement, sicknesses, spirit harms, and any form of obstacle in life, including this pandemic, in the form of darkness at your heart, instantly become non-existent, like the darkness instantly dispel when the light is switched on in the room, in the dark room. So keeping that in heart and recite VAJRASATTVA mantra 7 times. Om VAJRASATTVA SAMAYA MANUPALAYA VAJRASATTVA DRIDHO DRIDHO MEBHAVA SUTOSHYO MEBHAVA SUPOSHYO MEBHAVA ANURAKTO MEBHAVA SAVASIDDHIM MEBHAYADA SAVAGAMA CHITTAM SHRIYAM KURU MAHA BHAGAVAN TATHAGATA BENZA MAME BENZA BHAVA MAHA SAMAYA SATTVA Om VAJRASATTVA SAMAYA MANUPALAYA VAJRASATTVA DRIDHO DRIDHO MEBHAVA SUTOSHYO MEBHAVA SUPOSHYO MEBHAVA ANURAKTO MEBHAVA SAVASIDDHIM MEBHAYADA SAVAGAMA CHITTAM SHRIYAM KURU MAHA BHAGAVAN TATHAGATA BENZA MAME BENZA BHAVA MAHA SAMAYA SATTVA Om VAJRASATTVA SAMAYA MANUPALAYA VAJRASATTVA DRIDHO MEBHAVA SUTOSHYO MEBHAVA SUPOSHYO MEBHAVA ANURAKTO MEBHAVA SAVASIDDHIM MEBHAYADA SAVAGAMA CHITTAM SHRIYAM KURU MAHA BHAGAVAN TATHAGATA BENZA MAME BENZA BHAVA MAHA SAMAYA SATTVA Om VAJRASATTVA SAMAYA MANUPALAYA VAJRASATTVA DRIDHO MEBHAVA SUTOSHYO MEBHAVA SUPOSHYO MEBHAVA ANURAKTO MEBHAVA SAVASIDDHIM MEBHAYADA SAVAGAMA CHITTAM SHRIYAM KURU MAHA BHAGAVAN TATHAGATA BENZA MAME BENZA BHAVA MAHA SAMAYA SATTVA Om VAJRASATTVA SAMAYA MANUPALAYA VAJRASATTVA DRIDHO MEBHAVA SUTOSHYO MEBHAVA SUPOSHYO MEBHAVA ANURAKTO MEBHAVA SAVASIDDHIM MEBHAYADA SAVAGAMA CHITTAM SHRIYAM KURU MAHA BHAGAVAN TATHAGATA BENZA MAME BENZA BHAVA Ma samaya sato ahum pe omo benza sato samaya manupalaya benza sato dino padita dito mebawa sudokaya mebawa subokaya mebawa ANURAKTO mebawa zawa sede mebaya zawa gama zuzame zedam shiriyam guru hom maha hom bhagavan sawa TATHAGATA benza mame benza bawa ma samaya sato ahum pe omo benza sato samaya manupalaya benza sato dino padita Dido mebawa, SUTOSHYO mebawa, SUPOSHYO mebawa, ANURAKTO mebawa, sawa sede mebaya sawa gama zuzame zedam shiriyam guru ha 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 ho bhagavana sawa TATHAGATA benza mame benza ma samaya sato ahum then generate strong faith and conviction that you and the rest of the sentient beings, especially those of whom you have dedicated to purify this, the obstacles and negativities, who have dedicated, to whom you have dedicated this practice, have completely purified all the negative karma, especially those of having broken the 3 types of vows collected from beginningless rebirths, and all the obstacles in life, all the sicknesses, including this pandemic, bring into complete eradications. Then make a firm commitment, make a firm pledge to Guru VAJRASATTVA, very much like yourself right in front of the physical Guru, in person, taking precepts, taking commitments like that. That never to again commit, those of negative actions, like such as 10 non-virtues, and any form of negativities that you remember, that which are harmful for sentient being, which are causes of our own sufferings. Yeah, so promise never to again commit those negative actions from which you can easily abstain, and do not commit commit not to commit for a day, in case you cannot commit to prevent encountering such negative doings for rest of your life. Then at least necessary to take impact of the purification, then to commit, even to not to commit even course of your life for a day, or for an hour, or even for a minute, or at least during before end this session, that think that even course of my life I will not commit any form of negativities that I've been committing from beginningless lifetime. So that way, then the purification take the most greatest effect. Then you think and visualize that Guru VAJRASATTVA seeing you as a dedicated disciple who is making such a firm commitment through genuine purification practice. Then you understand, you feel, you see the Guru VAJRASATTVA in front of you is extremely pleased with you. Then the Guru VAJRASATTVA instantly melt into a light, that very physical form, like Guru VAJRASATTVA, to whom you've been relating, with much delightfulness, physical, it dissolved into a light. Then observe into you from the point between your eyebrow observe that light form, Guru Vajrasattva, observe into you. Then bring about complete blessing to your body, speech, and mind. Like that. And those of you who have received high Tantric initiation, then you can also do the visualization, such as Guru Vajrasattva gradually establishing the entering into your heart and remaining there, inseparable from yourself, the deity, and the Guru. So otherwise, just simply feel entire your body, speech, and mind is completely blessed and become oneness with the Guru Vajrasattva. Then from today onward, every single thoughts, actions of body, speech, and mind, everything is illustrations of Guru Vajrasattva's activities. So then the Guru Vajrasattva remain as your protections of others from negative doings, negative harms, harms and obstacles in life, like that. So in short, you feel you're completely come to a point that you have purified entirety of the past negative karma, and you become a pure being, which is oneness with the Guru Vajrasattva and your root Guru. And so from this very moment onward, you are starting of the new year, new life, a new person, pure being, pure, meaningful, virtuous, journeys to come. Yeah, so then with the heart of much rejoicement, rejoicing in this practice, then also rejoicing in all the virtues that we have accumulated in the past, at the present, in particularly the virtues that we accumulate individually and collectively through this series of Lojong teachings in the past almost 2 years. I feel very blessed by all the lineage gurus of the Kadamba masters, all the way up to the profound lineage of Dharma, extensive lineage of the Dharma, all the way up to Buddha Manjushri, Buddha Maitreya, and Guru Shakyamuni Buddha. You should feel very blessed of your continuum with all the causes and conditions to actualize all the realization that on the path, stages of the path that are described in Lojong and Lamrim, all the way up to enlightenment. Then feel very blessed that you become most beneficial being to the well-being of numberless sentient beings. Then feel blessed that my life becomes so meaningful. Then also appreciate all the Dharma brothers, sisters who come together in this platform to enjoy the Dharma. Then also feel rejoice and gratitude to all the organizers, like such as APMD Australia, like Stephanie, Peter, and all the rest of the Australian APMD centers and study groups, sanghas and lay practitioners, who diligently participate in this teaching program and supported of these virtuous events. Rejoice. And we also rejoice of all the merit and virtues of the past, present, future Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Arahats, and all the gurus, in particular like His Holiness Dalai Lama, Kyabchen Lama Sobrang Rinpoche, and all your spiritual gurus throughout, throughout their life, in particularly in during this pandemic time, that they have offered the best gift, best blessing, best refuge to the disciples like us, the Dharma. So feel so blessed and feel immense gratitude. Then dedicate our merits, whatever merit that we accumulated, and the merit they accumulated by the gurus and Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Collectively, we dedicate for the cause of numberless sentient beings, be free from sufferings of samsara and its causes, the karma and delusion, actualize temporary happiness up to the ultimate happiness, enlightenment accordingly. Also dedicate this collective merit to this pandemic to overcome instantly, and dedicate this collective merit to be most effective for the cure or the medicines to be actualized within each and every single humanity in the world. Also dedicate this collective merit to be complete cause for all the frontliners like doctors and nurses and the caretakers in the family, whoever be the cause of caring for needy ones, in particularly in challenges like such as pandemic, natural disaster. May our merit be complete cause for their good health, long life, fulfillment of all their wishes accordingly. May this collective merit be complete cause. All the world leaders of the organizations and the leaders of the family, and yourself who lead your life, free from all the negative emotions, negative environments, and fill ourselves filled with attitude of loving kindness, compassion, wisdom of selfless, so that anyone under their leadership can able to enjoy only peace and happiness and virtue. Dedicate this collective merit be complete cause. All the good people in this world, like His Holiness Dalai Lama, Kyabchen Lama Sobrang Rinpoche, all your spiritual gurus, and yourself and your family members, always enjoy good health, a long life, and fulfill all your aspirations accordingly. And may this collective merit be a complete cause. All the virtuous institutions, like such as monasteries and nunneries and all the Dharma centers, all the virtuous institutions, free from inner outer secret obstacles, and actualize all the conducive conditions to preserve the virtue, peace, and happiness, and the Dharma in most extensive learning and actualizing, realization on the stages of the path in the virtues, and actualize all the conducive conditions to do so. May this collective merit be complete cause. Each and every one of us have all the conducive conditions to be the cause of numberless sentient beings, peace and happiness and virtue and Dharma. May all the inner outer secret obstacles to be cleared completely. Then the dedicator ourselves, the merit and the purpose that we dedicate, all lies in the nature of interdependent rising, all lies in the nature of void of inherent existence, emptiness. Yeah, so then if there is any specific dedication that you wish to do, so please do so while I recite some of these dedication prayers. Jawadi Nyudo Dalama Zanjo Dujone Dowaji Jamaleba de Zala Gobarai Joy Chanjo Zenjo Remboje Majepanam Kejuji Jawanya Bamebaya Kone Gondo Peverish Tony Tawa Remboche Majepanam Kejuji Jawanya Bamebaya Kone Gondo Peverish Remye Tawa Remboje Majepanam Kejuji Jawanya Bamebaya Kone Gondo Pevarai Joy Karira Bekove Shingam dependent Dewa Maliju and Cherese one Tenzin Jazo Shabese de Bado Danger, Tozo Chanje Jango Javet, the Yope, Gozo Doboje Chozo Gobe, Lemeto Dazo de Jengo, Shabde, Jo, Chizolame, Kuze, Rabden Janguatele, Chojo Yamano, Losan Tempe, Sazu, Tovemoseta, Jejuro, Tiawagundo, Yandalama, Tameche, Pella Longe, Sadalam, Yendera, Doje, Change, Gomba, Nudo, Jo. Jambe Bawe Jidra Jamba no Kundo Zambo de and Dejin the Dagunji Jizotalo Jawa the Datam Jerabdo Shipe Jawa Tam Moakana Chudoma about the Daji Jevets our Degwin Zambo Jeje Rabdo Mowarai Pama Subjetam Jetan Danger and Rotam Jetato Toma the Chanjo Semba Kana Sujo the Dagunji Mola Dujo J and Semjana Bajinia Banyudo Nella Tajo Jetoven and Manu Batato Chuma Meabarai Show. 좀 대대대 잡아다 좀 해야 한다 봐 저에서 옛날만 나지 왜지 잡아라 차들어 주스 맞아 맞아 먹고도 삼발라 차들어 따야도 엄베들이 오버더네 좀 들으들 자면서 따야도 엄베들이 오버더네 좀 들으들 자면서 따야도 엄베들이 오버더네 좀 들으들 자면서 따야도 엄베들이 오버더네 엄들들 자면서 따야도 엄베들이 오버더네 좀 들으들 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 자면서 좀 대대 잡아다 좀 한다 봐줘서 년민이라 비도 이제 잡아라 찾아서 좀 대대 잡아다 좀 한다 봐줘서 뭐다 몰라도 저라도 되게 잡아라 찾아서 매년세 제자외 전화다 된데 로함에 벤데마다 다잘 하산다 남다면 내고 도저히 배단 좋아하면 그 신도 받아 심지어라 하고도 삼바 추진 되게 다시 tembaje 대감도 좀 받아 템바 니외신도 사와에 텐제 불러주도 템바 유레 네베 다시 쇼니 몬델레 센데레 니메 모양 델레지 니제다도 델레 군조 좀예 다시 조 Okay, so thank you very much. Thank you everyone. Thank you to Stephanie for working so hard to make all these teachings possible for throughout now almost 2 years, isn't it? Every single week, announcing, making the advertisement, then uploading on the website, Facebook, announcing to people, then archiving all the YouTube recordings, and which brought so much benefit to the people, those who in the different time zones who are not available to attend, on live. And especially, they're going to benefit more in the long time future. So Stephanie have put so much effort, even though herself have so many other responsibilities, center responsibilities, family responsibilities, but selflessly, with so much joy, so much rejoicement, with a full heart of altruism, that wanting to offer benefit to as many people as possible, making the teaching so accessible to anyone around the world, especially without needed to spend, the individual student needed to spend money, whatever, make it everything so free, the Dharma, absolute Dharma generosity, so therefore myself and all the practitioners who participate, who have received benefit and who are going to receive benefit, many in the long future, we all together, express deepest gratitude and thanks to Stephanie and Peter at PMD Australian National Office for this. Personally, for myself, you make my days very meaningful, because before I teach, I need to make sure that I really have the capability to make a correct commentary. So I myself, even though receive the teaching before, but it's a long time ago. So I need to read, I need to reflect, I need to meditate on it. So it's very much, even though it's just one sessions of teachings a week, I very much spend whole throughout the week, to really to digest myself first, before I share with you all. Then most of all, I try my best to live in the practice in my very best possible. At least during the teaching, period, this throughout this period, in order to make sure not to waste the blessing that that the lineage gurus have channeled through us. The lineage gurus, they have not only preserved the correct understanding of the Dharma, but they preserve the Dharma in realization. So even though myself, don't have capability of realizing the path in the teaching, but at least try to, observe the discipline of my body, speech, and mind, and according with what I try to preach in my best level, So, so from that point of view, this make my life very meaningful. It's so unfortunate due to pandemic, to so many people, brings so much difficulty. But from the practice point of view, from the individual point of view, in relation to practice, I think I can say that throughout the entire life, my life, I think during pandemic, I think been one of the most meaningful time. To able to conduct daily yoga retreats, to able to live in the Lojong teachings and Lojong practices. So it has been very meaningful. So I also hope that each and every one of you, even though, as I mentioned before, none of us spare aside, not experiencing challenges in relation to this COVID. May not be directly to yourself, but to your family members, etc., students. But then through this teaching, I hope that all of your life also has been very meaningful. I remember that I received the entire Lojong Gyatso transmissions sometime maybe around 1995. There's one stage I was very much like forced to, my late guru Geshe Tenzin Zopa asked me to come back from Sarah. I was already there for a few years, and I was asked to come back and has to, attend to him and has to travel with him. So during, I think for a few years, I just attend for the examination in the Sarah, but otherwise most of the time I spend time with the Geshe-la. And during that period, got fortunate to receive, all the different initiations and different transmissions, and one of them is this Lojong Gyatso transmissions. So Geshe-la put a lot of effort in that, even though that time my interest is not receiving all these transmissions. I didn't really understand the value then. I was very much kind of, attracted to, philosophy kind of studies. So then after 3 or 4 years later, then Geshe-la asked me to go back to Sarah, to dedicate full time in Sarah to study philosophy. And he says, now your time is ripened to go back. And that time, so that time, in fact, I almost kind of lose interest to go back to Sarah, samsaric being. And then Geshe-la says, last time there's a period that you had to be with him. But now, your time being with me is completed, and now you must go back. Your time is ripened to go back to Sarah. And he says that even though, you may feel that your time of studying rigorous philosophy study was interrupted, but I tell you that your time is never wasted with me. You will not realize now, but in long future that you will understand what I meant. In fact, you had the most meaningful time of these few years, your time, you sparing time to be with me. So Geshe-la said that. And now I realize, what he meant. And all this, especially all these many transmissions of initiations and this rare transmission of, rare teachings like such as Lojong Gyatso, not so easy today's time to find the unbroken lineage. The transmission are not. There's a there's a selected text is very common, but not the whole entire text. It's quite difficult to find. So therefore, from that point of view, those whoever sincerely, put effort to attend this Lojong teaching, I can say, from the motivation that I carry and the blessing that I carry, your time have not been wasted, like that. So, so I would like to say that, and I thank you, be part of this. Also, without you people's effort, I won't do this, which limited the benefit. I would be benefit without no doubt, but I cannot share the benefit with others. So through this teaching discourse, all of you also benefited. Okay, so I would like to say that. So now we are taking a kind of break. So you can maybe for some of you, maybe still maybe short break. For some of you, maybe quite a long break. So I don't know, but we're going to resume the Lojong teaching on 23rd of January. Is that right? Yeah, 23rd of January. We're going to resume in the same time and on the virtual platform, because it seems like the pandemic is still not giving a space for us to physically meet yet. Okay, so thank you very much. And meantime, please enjoy your holiday. Happy New Year, Happy Christmas. And at the same time, continue to take good care of yourself, especially from the COVID, and take good care of each other, and enjoy meaningful, happy, joyous holiday and break. Okay, thank you very much. And I also would like to take opportunity to thank the translators from different language of this Lojong teaching, especially in Russia. The Russian translators who translate in Russian language, you also put so much effort, throughout, so many sessions. So greatly appreciated, because there are many Russian individual students, they truly want to receive the teaching, and without your translation, many of them won't have the opportunity. So truly appreciate, and the rest of the others. Okay, so thank you very much, and take care. Bye-bye. Tashit Dele. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Thank you.